It has been a rapid, experimental, but highly successful first season for TGL. And with the regular season wrapping up last week, the playoffs are finally here. They start tonight at 7 p.m. on ESPN. And we have a great matchup tonight as well. New York versus LA, keeping that East versus West Coast rivalry alive. It's an interesting playoff format they've selected. Both semifinal rounds, happening tonight and tomorrow, will send a team home for a best out of three finals happening next week. So yes, whoever loses tonight's match is done for the season. I'm almost surprised a little bit that New York made it to the playoffs, just because the way that some other teams like the Bay and Atlanta were able to surprise everyone and how much they embraced the TGL format and venue and experience. New York was not one of those teams, and they got off to a rocky start, but we've seen how they're able to turn it around. And here they stand. We got Ricky, Matt Fitzpatrick, and Cameron Young playing tonight, going up against Tommy Fleetwood, Sahith Theegala, and Colin Morikawa on LA. And while I think it's going to be a close one, I'm going to have to give this match to LA. They have a little bit more spark. They have a little bit more eagerness to win than I've seen from New York in terms of play. And when it comes to the team itself, I've seen their owners at matches more so than any other owner. Their branding, their marketing, their clothes, their collaborations, even the way they do things for their fans, they do a lot more than most other teams. And I think that it's very all-encompassing, and that reaches the players and helps motivate them. And that's just one of the reasons we've seen LA's have the success that they've had. And obviously they had Tony Finau on a one-match contract, not the only, but the first team to do that so far. And I think they're a team very deserving of a playoff spot. You have teams like Atlanta where the players really embrace TGL, where then you have LA where it seems like from top to bottom in the LA Golf Club, everyone embraced TGL. And I think that is going to help propel them to victory. The one thing I will say for New York is that there are a lot more New York fans in person than any other fans. That's what I've seen at TGL matches, other than LA, but as a whole, New York has had the most fans there. I mean, Jupiter's a given, so New York is what I'll say for most fans. So we will see if the New Yorkers who escaped down to Florida, taking over my state, are going to show out in full force or not in a big moment like this. Remember, loser goes home. Either way, I'm very intrigued to see what a heightened TGL match looks like. Atlanta Drive versus the Bay is the one I'm really excited for. These are two teams who just took the idea of TGL and just ran with it. Not only have they showed out with their skill, I mean, Atlanta to come out and not just embrace everything from the intros to the team play to having the first ever overtime. They've really enjoyed TGL to the fullest more than any other team. And with a lineup of Billy Horschel, Patty Ice, and JT, these are three guys that just love to win. These are three fiery guys who love to play good golf and love to beat people playing golf. And I think that is going to give them a slight advantage over the Bay tomorrow. Look, the Bay, we've seen them dominate for most of the season. Wyndham Clark was undefeated in singles until I think the last regular season match. But he was just announced earlier today. He is out. Minwoo Lee is replacing Wyndham Clark in the lineup, playing alongside Ludwig Oberg and Shane Lowry. And this is a very strong lineup, and one that can definitely take on the golfing prowess of Atlanta Drive's three guys. But for what I was saying, for the way that Atlanta has just seemed to love every aspect of TGL. They were one of the first people I saw to be in the stadium doing promo before TGL even started. Again, the same way that LA, everything around the team, not just the players themselves, but how the team views itself and treats itself, but how the team is marketed and branded and exposed to fans, I feel like really helps the players. The more they feel into TGL, the more they buy into the experience, the better they'll play. And Arthur Blank is also someone who I've seen at a lot of different TGL matches, which I thought was surprising. Shout out Steve Cohen, he was at a few as well. But all in all, I do think I got to go with Atlanta Drive for tomorrow's match. The Bay is such a fun team to watch. Shane is a really reliable vet, and Minwoo and Ludwig are some really scary young cats. But that combo in Atlanta, the way that those guys get going, get each other fired up, the way they can ham and egg off each other in the big moments, and then you have these guys who can just go toe-to-toe in singles with the best of them. Billy Horschel, Patty Ice, those are two singles killers. And then JT is JT, and he just played really well this past week, at least for some of the rounds. But it's clear why Jupiter and Boston were not in the playoff picture just when you look at their play. Those are my 1 and 2 in the power rankings. Those are the only two to not make it into the playoffs. So don't quote me on any more power rankings. I'll just stick to the journalistic aspect of it. I'm excited to see, as like I said, what heightened TGL matches look like. And I'm just happy that the finals are a best out of 3. I think it'll be cool to see them go back and forth. But let me know what you guys think. Who do you guys got for this playoffs? Who do you got taking it all? And I'm also very excited to see what they're going to do about Happy Gilmore. We've seen some Happy Gilmore themed marketing in the last just few days. And I'm excited to see what they reveal either tonight or tomorrow or both. And I love Happy Gilmore. And I hope we get some special edition Happy Gilmore Jordans. But yeah, it seems like TGL is really trying to go out with a bang this last week. And I'm intrigued to see what they do.